Bill Belichick on a Patriots Monday, brought to you by the commercial banking team at Northeastern Savings Bank. Upgrade your business to a local partner by Catches Law Group, New England's injury pros and the official law firm of the New England Patriots. By Northeast Men's Health, the experts in men's sexual health. Visit northeastmenshealth.com. And Bill Belichick is brought to you by Diesel Direct, the nation's largest asset-based mobile fueling company. He joins us this morning on the Harbor One hotline. Hey, Bill.
Morning. How you doing, Greg?
We're doing good. How you doing?
Hey, Courtney. Good.
Nice to get a win.
Always. Yeah, always. Yeah. Tough to win in this league. It's good to get it.
We're talking earlier about the weather, and post game you talked about points being the most important thing, and you put 15 up. I know the weather affects both teams on that side of the ball, but was that a factor when you look at kind of the offense working yesterday?
Well, I mean, we moved the ball. We just, we need more points. We need to score more points. Had a couple of field goal opportunities and just weren't able to, finish. We got across the 50-yard line a couple times, but I mean, give the Jets credit. They're a really good defensive team. We've seen that, and they're good in the red area, good in plus 50. So, we convert a few third downs, but ultimately, they made a few stops and, kept us out of the end zone. So, competitive game, tough competitive game. That's the way it is against them down there.
Bill, one of the things that I think when you start to look, you obviously give the Jets a lot of credit for defensively, but I think when you start to look at your own defense, the things that you were able to do, not just against Zach in the passing game, but also against their rushing attack. What do you feel like after maybe watching the film a little bit was the difference on where you were able to defensively really keep the Jets bottled up and not really know what to do?
Yeah, well, I think fundamentally we played a lot better than we did, last week against Miami. Just played better fundamentals, used our hands better, read blocks better, had better run force, tackled better, so all those things. It always comes down to fundamentals. You can exit on it all you want, but you got to go out there and win those one-on-one matchups. And fundamentally it was a good game for us, good tackling game.
Bill, a lot of the players after credited Matthew Slater for talking to them, addressing the team, giving a big speech on Friday after practice. What was the main message after starting the season 0-2 to make sure that the guys were ready to go against this Jets team and get a win?
Yeah, Matt's always got good messages. He's got a lot of them. But, yeah, I mean, I think the team, realized that, look, every week's a big week in this league, and going on the road down New York, we knew it was going to be tough. And, Matt's had a lot of experience doing that more than anybody else, so it's always good to hear from him.
Well, I think the other thing that you guys were able to do a good job of was establishing the run. Was that something that obviously the weather played a factor in, or just kind of going into this game, was it more put on the offense saying, hey, we got to do better running the football, because then that'll open up things like play action?
Yeah, well, again, I think against a defense like the Jets, you don't want to go back there and throw 50 times. Like, that's really not probably a good way to play them. And they have a lot of good pass rushers, and so if you can keep the distances shorter and punch some runs in there and make them play the run, that balances things off. And I'd say this is probably one of our better games pass protecting against them in the last few times we played them. So. We had a little more time, but I think part of that came from the running game and being able to, keep them honest and playing the run. But they're tough to run against. They're tough to throw against, and they're a good defense.
Whether it was the run game or Mac not getting sacked, was that a direct correlation of Trent Brown being added back in and the O-line playing pretty well?
Well, it was, good to be able to, get guys playing on the offensive line that together a little bit more than, we had the first couple of weeks. But, yeah, of course, getting Trent back's good. And, Lowe was able to play again at right tackle, and, Mike's able to play at right guard, and so getting him back into it. And so, Mafi and Cole at left guard. So just getting the same guys out there, letting them play together and getting some continuity there, and that always helps.
Wiggy brought up play action. I think you were ranked 29th in the league heading into this week when it came to play action. You end up getting the Brown touchdown off that. Is that something that's just situational with Mac? And, he looks pretty good in it.
Yeah. Well, again, the play action works a lot better when you have a good running game going and you can make them play the run, So don't get a lot of draw on the play actions if they're not really respecting the run. So they go hand in hand. But yeah, it was a good play. They, we had two guys run down the seam there, and Gardner kind of took the outside guy, and Brown got down the middle. Mack hit him. It was a big play for us.
Bill, one of the guys, I know you don't really like to just, focus on one player in particular, but I got to give the kid Christian Gonzalez a lot of credit. I mean, the first 3 weeks of the season, he's seen very talented players. And what makes him seem like, as even though he's a rookie, it seemed like he has the confidence to play at this level and play at a very high level? What is it about him that makes him look like he could potentially be a special player?
Well, one of the best things about Christian, especially at that position, is he's very even-keeled. He's not, overly emotional one way or the other, and he's got a good, calm demeanor, a lot like Gilmore did. He's seen some very good receivers the first 3 weeks, and we're going to see another one this week, with Lamb. So we've seen some good defensive lines, and we're going to see another one this week. So those positions, the defensive line and the receiver positions here, the first 4 weeks of the season are, as good as anybody.
Bill, what's the reasoning that you get? I know you've advocated for the ability to challenge everything. Yesterday, I know you're probably not going to get to the referees, but there was some really dubious non-calls and pass interference calls that didn't seem to be balanced. What is the downside of enabling you or Coach Sala, anybody, from being able to challenge a call or a play just so you get the right response or the right ruling in a game action?
Yeah, well, I don't think you want unlimited challenges. You have challenges on every play.
No, you would have 2 challenges, but you could challenge anything.
Yeah, well, I've always been for that.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't really matter what I think. I don't make the rules, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to make any sense.
Bill, you now have the Cowboys, obviously coming off a heartbreaking loss for them, probably a game that they thought they would win. To have an angry, talented Cowboys team as your next opponent, how difficult is that going to be? What's their biggest strength?
Cowboys' biggest strength is everything. Really good on defense. Parsons is probably the best defensive player in the league, or certainly one of the top ones. I can't imagine anybody being more of a problem than he is. Offensively, it's a big three. Their returner is dynamic. So they've got some really good players. They're tough. It's tough every week. It's a tough league to win in. So Cowboys are good, but so is everybody else we play.
Bill, when you think about Micah Parsons as a special player in the league, he's somebody that if you kind of watch him, he's all over the place. So what's the kind of the offensive? I know it's so difficult to defend a player like that because you never know where he lines up. What's the thing that makes him special, and what do you need to do as an offense to try to at least slow him down a little bit?
Well, it's a lot like, look, like every great player, he's pretty good at everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of power. He's very fast. He's long. He's very athletic. So he's a hard guy to cut. He's a hard guy to knock off the ball. And he plays all over, as you said. So finding him, that's number one. Where is he? He could be inside. He could be outside. He could be on either edge. And he's a big physical player that's very athletic and quick. Along the lines of a Taylor, that kind of athlete.
Bill, Juju Smith-Schuster had 1 catch for 5 yards yesterday. Penalty is he where you expected him to be at when it comes to fitting in here?
Yeah, Juju's been great. I love working with him. Tough kid, really smart, does a good job for us. He does a lot of things well.
Coach's Verdict, presented every week by Catches Law Group, New England's injury pros at catcheslaw.com. Catches is proud to be the official law firm of the New England Patriots.
Bill, we talked about Dallas this weekend. You have the chance, if the Patriots win, you get to 300 in your head coaching career. What does that mean to you, and what would you say the biggest reason is behind those 300 wins if you get there this Sunday?
Yeah. I'm not really too focused on that. I'll just, try to get ready for Dallas and do the best we can for the team. Add them up at the end.
Speaking of coaching in the NFL, you know it better than anybody else. We were talking about Deion Sanders earlier. You think he would make a good coach someday in the NFL?
Yeah, I don't really give him much thought. I think you'd have to talk to the people who do the hiring about that, which I'm not one of those. So people who hire the head coaches, they're the ones that really, it's what they think that matters.
Bill, will there be a huge emphasis, because you not only talk about Dallas and Micah Parsons, but they got a good front four and they can get after the quarterback. Is a big emphasis going to be really with Mac in that offense when you do throw the football, trying to get the ball out quick and, guys making plays in space? Because, like you say, the longer you hold on to football with that type of pass rush, sooner or later, you're just giving them more opportunity to get there.
Yeah, they rush the passer as well as anybody. I know last year, the Eagles had great sack numbers, and deservedly so. They hit the quarterback a lot too, but Dallas's pass rush is as good as any I've seen in a while. They're very good inside, they're good outside. Coach Quinn really does a good job with the schemes as far as moving Parsons around. They run some overload fronts, they run some balance fronts. They do enough to keep you honest and make it really hard to predict who's going to be where, how they're going to unfold, and there's a lot of good players there. So it'll be a big challenge for us. Blocking that front four will be a huge challenge, and like I said, getting the big three on offense, and then the return game. So I mean, just right off the top, that's pretty big. It's a big order.
Diesel Direct Player of the Game is Matthew Judon. A little bit about his game yesterday and what he brings every week.
Yeah, Ju's has obviously been a great addition to the team. He's got good energy, really tough physical player. Plays very hard and great teammate. He tries to complement other guys with his game and really enjoy, having him on a team, coaching him, and, like I said, the attitude and aggressiveness that he brings on a daily basis, not just every week on Sunday. You guys see that, but he really brings it every day. It's great to work with.
And I know you don't like talking about the future, but we've been talking a lot about, 300 wins. You said we'll count them at the end. Is there any chance that you would ever coach again for any other franchise other than the New England Patriots?
Yeah, right now I'm just worried about getting ready for Dallas. All right, so let's leave it at that.
All right, sounds good. Bill.
Thanks.
I mean, give him credit for trying.
Yeah.
Hey, we talked about it. We have it right here.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah. Can I try one that's
I mean,
not
Wiggy
about...
actually maybe could use a little help someday in Brockton. I mean, he's 0-3 over there, Bill. I mean, a call? Could he do a call during the week or something?
Yeah, well, we're close. We're getting
Hey,
there.
we're going to talk all the time.
All right, okay.
Yeah, talk all the time.
All right.
So we're getting there. We're getting there.
Almost.
Can I try one that's not about the Cowboys? Swifty to Swifty. Taylor Swift was in attendance to watch Travis Kelce's game with his mom in the box. Seems like they may be the new it couple. Where do you fall on that? Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, power couple in the NFL.
Well, I would say that Travis Kelce's had a lot of big catches in his career. This would be the biggest.
Nailed it. Yep.
Pretty big.
Loving him was red.
All right.
Question.
Yeah.
Miami put up 70 yesterday on the Broncos. I figured if there's anybody who knows the answer to this, it will be you. 73, the most amount of points ever put up. Do you know who did it?
Yeah, that was the Redskins and the Bears and Redskins, right?
1940, I think.
Yeah, that was the T formation.
Yeah.
That was the start of the T formation.
Yeah. I see.
If I got that right.
I knew he did.
That was spot
Greg
on.
knew it off the top of his head.
T formation. Love the T formation.
Yeah.
And the jet sweep.
You and Sean.
All right, Bill. As always, thanks for stopping by. And,
Yeah, of course.
Go get him. Go get him next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks. Have a great week.